Hello everybody, welcome to Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH, and this is discussion number 4, Inventories Part 1, General Concepts. We are still at Intermediate Accounting Part 1. At the end of the video, you should be able to point out the applicable accounting standard for inventories, then define inventories, define and explain different freight terms, determine what inventories are included and excluded in inventory balances, enumerate and explain different inventory systems and cost flow techniques, and solve problems on inventory inclusion and exclusion. Okay, awesome. So, before anything else, please like, share, and subscribe to Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH and hit the notification bell button to alert you of the latest video lessons. For all of your questions, comments, and suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And for webinar and speakership invites, please send me a message at kevintroy.chua1994@gmail.com. Thank you very much for your outmost support for Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH, and may these videos continue to help students in their online learning and academic development, and may these videos continue to help teachers in enhancing their lesson plans and teaching methodologies. Thank you po sa lahat na nagsasubscribe at sumusuporta sa Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH, and thank you for trusting Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH as your online learning partner. Okay, let's start. In the last lesson, we discussed trade and other receivables, and now we are ready to move on with the next line item in the statement of financial position current asset section, which is inventories. Okay, so the applicable accounting standard for inventories is International Accounting Standard 2, or yung ating pong IAS 2, entitled Inventories. Okay, so you can actually download it sa ifrs.org. Those are unaccompanied standards, and it's available for you to download, no? So para rin po magkaroon kayo ng exposure sa actual accounting standards, pwede nyo pong bisitahin si website ng IFRS or the International Financial Reporting Standards. Okay, so I hope babasahin nyo rin siya kapag na-access nyo siya para you can have an exposure kung ano po talaga yung talagang sinasabi ng mga paragraphs ng accounting standards. Okay? Kasi guidance po natin yan as we go along sa ating studies, and not only in your studies, syempre kapag ka po kayo ay nagtatrabaho na and you are really a practicing accountant na, it's very important for you to know what the standards tells us. 'Di ba? So, ayan. IAS 2 inventories. Okay. So let's define inventories. According to IAS 2 paragraph 6, inventories are assets that are held for sale in the ordinary course of business, in the process of production for such sale, or in the form of materials or supplies to be consumed in the production process or in rendering of services. Okay. So yung letter A po natin, held for sale in the ordinary course of business. So in the case of a merchandising company, yung ating pong merchandise inventory. And kapag ka naman po manufacturing, yung ating pong finished goods inventory. Remember, pag manufacturing is pinaprocess pa po natin yung raw materials to become finished goods. Diba? Now, for letter B naman po, in the process of production for such sale. On a manufacturing perspective, ang tawag po natin dyan is work in process inventory. Ito po yung mga inventory na patapos pa lang, hindi pa po siya tapos. It's still in the process of production. Pero syempre, inventory pa rin po yun ng company. Yun nga lang, hindi pa po siya ready for sale kasi hindi pa tapos. Okay? And then letter C, in the form of materials or supplies to be consumed in the production process or in the rendering of services. So kasama po natin sa inventories yung raw materials na ginagamit natin to be transformed to finished goods. Okay? So we have two examples here. Ayan, mga idol merchandise. Ayan. Tapos, yung nasa baba naman natin, yung mga nagmamanufacture ng luggage. Siyempre, yan po yung mga luggage na finished goods na po yan. O, katulad niyan, tinan nyo to. Marketing strategy ng company. Pwede kang lumapit sa idol mo. 'Di ba? Pagkalapit mo sa idol mo, pwede kayong mag-usap, tapos bibili ka ng merchandise. E di syempre, ikaw marupok ka, lalapit ka, Kakausapin mo yung idol mo, kakausap nyo, ang dami mo ng kinuhang inventory. Tataas ang sales ng company kasi ang dami mong binili. Tanggalin na natin ang kalat masyado. Okay, so, those are inventories and those are examples of merchandise inventories and some of them, yung nasa baba naman po natin, yan yung mga finished goods inventories po natin. Okay? So, basically, you actually know naman na kung ano talagang inventories kahit saan, nakikita nyo yan. Grocery, yung mga dilata nyo doon, di ba? And the goods that the grocery is selling you, di ba? And punta ka lang ng department store, yung mga damit doon. Okay? So, we are actually living every day with inventories or company inventories around us. Okay? So, those are inventories. Okay. Since inventories are assets that are held by an entity for trading within the normal operating cycle, and that's actually realizable and convertible to cash. Kasi syempre, pag nagbenta pag nagbenta ka ng inventories, magkakaroon ka rin naman ng cash. So, with that nature, pasok siya sa halos lahat ng criteria para maging current asset, 'di ba? So, we report inventories as current assets after trade and other receivables. When can the company say that the inventory is theirs? Okay? Tama ba yung English ko? When can the company say that the inventory is theirs? Okay. It's all about ownership. Kasi naman ikaw, angking ka ng angkin, hindi naman iyo. Joke lang. Okay. So, kapag ka po ownership ang pag-uusapan natin, yan po yung pinakatitignan natin sa inventories. When the company has the title over the inventory, regardless of the location, kung nasaan man yung inventory na yan, basta ang title is nasa company, kanila yon. Okay? They can consider that inventory as theirs, and the cost of that inventory will be the one to be recorded and reported in the statement of financial position as cost of inventory. Okay? So, number 1, meron po tayong inventory items that are currently on hand. Ano po yung mga nasa on hand na yan? On hand sa warehouse na hindi pa nabebenta, or on hand na nasa store selling area awaiting sale. Yan pong lahat ng inventories na yan sa company yan, syempre. We also have items na pinurchase po natin FOB shipping point currently in transit. O remember po, kapag ka po FOB shipping point, review na lang to actually kasi na-discuss na to sa inyo sa accounting for merchandising, na-discuss na rin to nung senior high school. So I think this is the third time that this will be discussed with you, yung ating pong shipping terms. Remember po, ang ating FOB shipping point, the buyer owns it already kahit nasa biyahe pa lang. So, if the company purchase items with the term FOB shipping point, kanila na rin po yon. Items sold FOB destination currently in transit. Kapag ka naman po tayo ay seller ng merchandise at pinadala po natin sa buyer yung binili nila sa atin, pero ang term ay FOB destination, pag nasa transit pa yan habang nasa biyahe, atin pa din yan. Kasi matatawag lang ng buyer na kanila yung ownership ng inventory pag dumating na po yun sa kanila. 'Di ba? Ganun po yung FOB destination. Items out on consignment to other entities, mamaya po pag-uusapan po natin ano po yung sinasabi nating consignment. And syempre, meron po tayong mga inventory items na pinapalako po natin, pinapalako talaga, di ba? Parang meron po kasi tayong mga inventory items na hawak po ng sales agents na hindi pa nila nabebenta. So, syempre, inventory pa rin po yun nung company kasi nasa atin pa rin po yung ownership due to the fact that even though it is still in the hands of the sales agents, they are still unsold. So, yan po yung mga examples ng ating inventory items that are included in the cost of inventory that you should report in the statement of financial position. Okay, so let's have a review of FOB shipping point versus FOB destination. Remember, in FOB shipping point, that the title or the ownership is passed to the buyer at the point of shipment. Habang nasa biyahe po, kay buyer na siya. Okay? Now, the buyer is responsible to pay for the delivery charges in FOB shipping point. Meanwhile, in FOB destination, title is passed to the buyer upon receipt of goods. So, matatawag lang po natin na atin yung inventory or sa company yung inventory kapag ka po na-receive na natin yung goods. So, kung tayo po ang buyer, kay seller pa po siya kapag ka nasa biyahe. Kasi matatawag lang po natin yung inventory na atin kapag ka po dumating na siya sa company premises. Okay? The seller is responsible for the delivery charges under FOB destination. Okay, for you to properly understand FOB shipping point and FOB destination, tandaan nyo po yung hugot na paulit-ulit na nating dinidiscuss. For FOB shipping point, sabi ni buyer sa biniling merchandise, malayo ka pa lang, alam kong akin ka na. Okay? Bakit malayo ka pa lang, alam kong akin ka na? Kasi po, pag FOB shipping point, nasa biyahe pa lang, alam niya ng kanya na. Di ba? Di katulad nung iyo, hindi mo matawag na iyo. Okay, baka doon ka sa isa FOB destination. Sabi ni buyer sa biniling merchandise, maghihintay ako hanggang maaari na kitang tawaging akin. Kasi in FOB destination, hihintayin mo talaga muna na dumating sa iyo bago mo maklaim yung ownership nung binili mong merchandise. Okay? So I hope that that sums up your knowledge of FOB shipping point and FOB destination. Okay, so for an extensive discussion of merchandise transportation and other freight terminologies, meron po tayong full discussion about merchandise transportation. You can watch po dito rin po sa Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. Actually, pang senior high school to, but the concept is just the same, so you can use it. Lesson 28 po, Accounting for Merchandising Operations Part 2. It's all about transportation. So all other freight terms po like freight collect, tsaka freight prepaid, diniscuss din po doon. Okay? And then, some relative calculations and journal entries. Nandyan din po sa lesson 28. You can visit that video po to understand merchandise transportation better. Okay, let's talk about now consignment. Consignment is a marketing technique whereby a company called the consignor requests another entity to allow them to sell their goods serving as an agent called the consignee. So meron tayong two parties dito sa isang consignment agreement. The consignor and the consignee. Sa consignor, yung may-ari ng inventory, ipapabenta niya kay consignee. Oy, consignee, pabenta naman ako, papwesto naman ako dyan. Okay? So, anong example niyan? Kung titignan nyo po, not sponsored, SM. Okay? SM Department Store, DSM Store. Hindi lang naman po SM items yung makikita nyo dun, di ba? Karamihan po na makikita nyo sa SM Department Store is mga branded clothes, di ba? Hindi na lang ako magbabanggit ng brands, but I know that we are on the same page on this. Puro branded, no? And most of them are also consignors. Nakiki-consign, nakikipwesto kay SM. Okay? So, hindi po matatawag ni SM na inventory nila yung mga products na yon kasi meron pong mga companies na may-ari nung inventory na yon. Okay? Nakikipwesto lang po sila kay SM. So, if a company has goods out on consignment, naglabas sila ng produkto or ng inventory nila na ipapabenta nila at makikipwesto sila sa ibang company, that is an inventory of that company. But kung tayo naman yung pinwestuhan, okay? Goods held on consignment, tayo yung may hawak ng inventory, okay? For example, yun nga, si SM, marami silang goods held on consignment, hindi po nila matatawag na kanila yon because that is the inventory of the original owner. Ngayon, usually po, sa consignment agreement, the consignor pays commissions to the consignee. Siyempre naman, nakipwesto ka. So, one way that the consignee can earn money from that is, siyempre, magkakaroon siya ng commissions revenue. Again, matatawag mo lang po na iyo yung inventory kung goods out on consignment. Ikaw yung nakipwesto sa iba. Okay? But kapag ka naman po ikaw yung merong hawak ng inventory ng ibang company, ayan ka na naman, nang-aangking ka na naman. Wag mong aangkinin kasi hindi iyo yun. Okay? That is the inventory of the original owner. Okay, so I hope that consigned goods is clear na ha. And pag nagko-compute tayo ng cost ng inventory, Yung goods out on consignment, yan po yung kasama sa ating inventory balance. Yung held on consignment, hindi po dapat yun kasama sa ating inventory balance. When I was still working for SM, I don't know if I can tell this to you, no, in a public video, but sa SM po kasi meron po silang tinatawag na outright sales tsaka consignor sales. So sige, hanggang doon na lang siguro yung detail na sasabihin ko sa inyo. Pag sinabi pong outright sales ni SM, sales galing po sa mga mismong SM products. Pagka naman po consignor sales, yun po yung sales ng mga consignor, which is hindi po talaga kay SM yun. Okay? Kasi sales po yun ni consignor. O sige, hanggang doon na lang po yung i-discuss ko. But at least you get an understanding of what consignment really is. And the very, very, very best example that I can give you on consignment are malls, 'di ba? Yung mga not only SM but also other malls, not sponsored. O sige, hindi na ako magbabanggit. Alam nyo na yon. Nagmo-mall naman kayo, di ba? Kahit hindi mo siya kasama. Okay, let's continue with the systems of inventory recording. Ito po ay na-discuss na rin sa inyo way back in your accounting for merchandising. So, at saka po nung senior high school. So, we have periodic and perpetual inventory system. Periodic inventory system facilitates the physical counting of inventories at the end of an accounting period, whereby the updated balances of inventories is based on this physical count. Pagka po periodic inventory system, nakaasa lang po tayo sa physical count at the end of the accounting period. Okay? At nakadepende po yung ating pong mga balances or records of inventory dun po sa physical count na ginawa natin at the end of the period. So, it's applicable for low value inventories. So, kahit walang masyadong monitoring tapos physical count ka lang at the end of the period, okay lang yon kung low value ang inventories mo. Best example po natin, grocery. Okay? Kasi sa grocery naman po hindi pwedeng mag-perpetual inventory sa grocery dahil ang dami-daming bumibili sa grocery everyday. So i-record mo ba isa-isa 'yon? Hindi naman kaya ng company, 'di ba? So pagka po mga ganong type ng inventories, periodic po yung applicable doon. And now that we've mentioned perpetual, pagka naman po perpetual inventory system, ang recording po natin is in every movement, kada purchase kada purchase and kada sale through the use of stock cards. So, kada po bibili tayo ng bagong inventory, re-record. Kada po makakapagbenta tayo, re-record din po agad. Okay? In every purchase and sale, updated po ang balances ng inventory. Pag perpetual inventory system, gumagamit po tayo ng stock cards. And this is applicable for high-value inventories like cars or jewelry. Lalo na po dyan sa mga talagang high value kasi hindi po tayo mag-a-apply ng periodic inventory system sa cars. Okay? Kailangan po talaga tuwing nakakabenta tayo, record, at tuwing magkakaroon ng company ng bagong kotse ready for sale, record din agad. And then syempre sa jewelries din po. Napakamahal ng jewelry para i-periodic inventory system mo. Dapat din po in every purchase and sale or in every new available for sale na jewelry, record agad ng inventory. And then kada po makakabenta tayo, record din po agad. Okay? Those are control mechanisms din po actually. Okay? So matututunan nyo po yung kung bakit perpetual inventory system ang gamit sa high value inventories as part of your learning about internal control. Okay? So hindi po siya sakop ngayon ng financial accounting. At least you know the difference between periodic and the perpetual inventory system. For an extensive discussion of the difference between periodic and perpetual inventory system, kasama po yung kung paano po tayo mag-journal entries sa periodic at kung paano po tayo mag-journal entries sa perpetual. Meron din pong lesson si Sir Chua dyan. Lesson 30 po, Accounting for Merchandising Operations Part 4, Periodic and Perpetual Inventory System. And kung kayo po ay medyo curious pa din sa merchandising operations, pwede nyo pong balikan lahat ng videos ng Accounting for Merchandising Operations. 5 parts po yan. Okay? 5 parts po yung discussion natin ng merchandising operations. Kasama po yung mga general journal entries, yung transportation, pagpe-prepare po natin ng income statement under merchandising, yung ating pong periodic versus perpetual journal entries, tsaka yung paggamit po natin ng special journals and subsidiary ledgers. All parts po ng merchandising operations, pwede nyo pong balikan sa lessons po dito sa Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. Okay, let's continue. Now, the cost of inventories shall be recorded at the cost of purchase, the cost of conversion, and any other cost that is related to the inventory in bringing them to their present location and condition. So, kasama po sa cost of purchase, syempre yung purchase price, yung transaction price, any other duties, irrecoverable purchase taxes, freight, and handling. Cost of conversion naman po is applicable for manufacturing kasi syempre po, di ba, pasok na po sa cost of purchase yung binili po nating raw materials para po makagawa tayo ng produkto. Ano naman po yung tinatawag nating cost of conversion? Remember po, kapag ka po manufacturing po ang isang company, the raw materials are being processed to make it finished goods or to make it ready for sale. Siyempre, kailangan mo po ng cost of direct labor o yung mga trabahador na gumawa ng product mo. And siyempre, any other cost na related po dun sa factory para magawa yung produkto, ang tawag po dun, overhead. Okay? So, overhead, for example, gumastos ka ng factory rental o kaya factory utilities, factory repairs and maintenance. Okay? So, mga cost siya na hindi ganong related dun sa product pero na-incur mo pa rin in the production process. Okay? Yun po yung tinatawag nating cost of conversion. Kasama po siya sa cost of inventories. Yung ating pong sinasabi dito na cost of conversion on materials, labor, and overhead, mapag-aaralan nyo po siya pagdating nyo po sa cost accounting and control. Okay? Pero ang focus po natin sa financial accounting is paano po mag-compute ng amount of cost na ipe-present po natin sa statement of financial position. Okay? Yun po ang focus natin here. Okay, what about LCNRV? According po sa paragraph 9 ng IAS 2, the measurement of inventory shall be at the lower amount between cost and NRV. We have a separate video lesson for this, so hindi muna natin siya i-discuss in this video. And then we also have some inventory cost allocation and methods or techniques how to compute for inventory costs. We have 4. We have the specific identification method which was cited or mentioned under paragraph 23. The first in first out method under paragraph 25. The weighted average method also in paragraph 25 and the moving average method as mentioned in paragraph 27. We also have a separate video for this. It's actually the next video after this lesson. Okay? So, dun po natin pag-aaralan tong 4 na inventory cost allocation techniques. Ngayon, yung pong ating pong last in first out inventory system is not permitted under IAS 2. So, hindi po tayo pwedeng gumamit ng last in first out kung ang sinusunod po nating financial reporting framework ay IAS. Ngayon po, baka po yung iba sa inyo ay nagbabasa ng US na textbooks ng intermediate accounting. So, baka may makita pa po kayo sa kanila na LIFO. I think, hindi ko ganun sure, but I think under US GAAP, pwede pa po yata yun sa kanila. No? But sa atin po, under International Accounting Standards and Philippine Accounting Standards, hindi po permitted ang paggamit ng last in, first out inventory. Ano po ba yung last in, first out method? Kung ano pa po yung pinakahuling pumasok sa inventory storage, yun pa rin po yung una mong ilalabas. So, lalo na sa pagkain, hindi mo talaga pwedeng gawin yan, di ba? Ang gusto ng nanay nyo sa refrigerator, first in, first out, 'di ba? Kung ano yung unang pinasok nyo sa freezer, yun yung una nyo ilalabas kasi mabubulok, 'di ba? Kunyari, meron pang natitirang 2 hotdog dun sa freezer. Tapos may binili yung nanay nyo, nag-grocery yung nanay nyo, bumili ng bagong isang pack ng hotdog. Di ba na nagagalit yung nanay nyo kapag nilalabas nyo yung bago agad? Ubusin nyo muna yung 2 hotdog doon sa freezer bago nyo buksan yung binili niyang bagong mga hotdog. So, yun yung last in, first out. Ayaw ng nanay nyo yan kasi nga masisira, mabubulok yung mga unan nyong binili. Kaya, usually, if the goods are perishable, first in, first out method po talaga yung pinaka-applicable. But we'll be talking about that in detail in the next video. Okay, and then there are times na kailangan po nating mag-estimate ng amount ng inventory kasi kunyari nasunog, wag naman sana, nasunog yung inventory records or nagkaroon nga po ng any other circumstance na hindi po natin inaasahan. So, we just resort to estimation. Okay, so we also have a separate video for this, but to preempt you, we have two methods, which is the gross profit method and the retail inventory method. Okay, so let's discuss two problems. I have prepared two problems for you on the inclusion and exclusion of amounts that would be reported as inventories in the statement of financial position. Let's have problem number 1. The following information was made available by Jimin Manufacturing Company. How much is the total correct amount of inventory? Okay? I suggest i-apply nyo po yung mga napag-aralan nating theory na discuss natin ngayon sa video. Pause nyo muna yung video, try nyo pong sagutan. Okay, assuming na kayo po ay nag-pause ng video at nagsagot, tingnan natin kung pareho tayo ng makukuha. Okay, isa-isahin po natin. Raw materials inventory, pasok po siya dun sa definition ng inventories na materials that are used in the production process para i-transform as finished products. So, kasama po yan. Lahat po ng inventory na in process pa at hindi pa tapos, kasama rin po yan sa ating inventories. How about prepaid insurance on inventory? Hindi po yan kasama. Nalito ka lang kasi nakalagay inventory eh. But that's actually prepaid insurance. Okay? Ano po yung prepaid insurance on inventory? Yung inventory, ginastosan mo ng insurance para in case mawala, masunog, may insurance siya. Okay? That is reported as a current or depende kung non-current asset. Pero usually naman maikli lang. Okay? So, kung depende. Okay? Prepaid insurance po tayo, current asset. Pero hindi po siya inventory. It's just that, related sa inventory. Pero hindi po siya mismo inventory. How about marketing leaflets? Those are materials that we use in advertising and promotions. Binebenta mo ba yan? Ang tanong. Hindi, di ba? Those are just simply supplies din po ng company na gagamitin po for marketing and advertising. So, hindi po siya kasama. Finished goods that are ready for sale pero nakatambak pa sa warehouse, nakatambay pa doon but ready for sale. Syempre kasama yan. Okay? Kasi ready for sale na po yan, finished goods na po yan, kasama po yan. Okay. Next, finished goods in the selling area, nasa selling area na. But the amount of 332,800 is 30% markup based on cost. Syempre nasa selling area na. So yung nakuha mong information, yung selling price, okay? Kasama pero hindi 332,800. Okay? Ang kailangan nyo pong kunin yung cost. If the markup was based on cost, ibig sabihin yung 332,800 na patungan na siya ng 30%. Okay? So, you simply divide 332,800 by 1.3. Again, you divide 332,800 by 1.3. The total amount of cost of the inventory in the selling area is 256,000. Now you work back, we try to multiply 256,000 times 1.3, yun po yung ating selling price of all of those inventory in the selling area, which is 332,800. Okay, next, finished goods inventory naman po natin na in transit FOB shipping point. Kung tayo ang may record ng finished goods inventory, ibig sabihin tayo yung seller dito, 'di ba? In transit po siya na FOB shipping point. Anong sabi natin? Pag FOB shipping point at nasa biyahe na, kay buyer na po yung ownership niyan, so hindi na po yan atin. Okay? And then finished goods inventory po na in transit pero FOB destination. Okay? So since in transit at FOB destination, atin pa po yan hanggat hindi pa dumadating dun sa buyer. Goods out on consignment to Robinson's department store. So, meron tayong products na pina-consign natin, nakipwesto tayo kay Robinson's department store. Although physically, nasa Robinson's department store siya, pero atin po yan. Tayo po ang may ownership niyan. Pero, yung nagpa-consign po sa atin from Sole Pasalubong Company, goods na hawak po natin yung goods nila, the selling price of 220,000, hindi po atin yan, syempre, okay? And then, office supplies. Kasama po ba yan sa inventory? Binibenta nyo po ba yan? Hindi. That's part of your operation. So, and kapag ka po yung office supplies nagamit nyo na, office supplies expense na siya, di ba? Okay. And then, store supplies din po, syempre, hindi kasama. So, i-add lang po natin lahat ng naka-check na included. The total amount of inventory is 2,357,300. Sana tama ang nakuha mo, hindi ba? Okay. Let's proceed with problem number 2. Asuncion Trading has a preliminary inventory balance amounting to 3 million as at December 31, 2020. The following period and transactions were shed light. Goods shipped to Asuncion with terms FOB destination at December 27, 2020 was received by the entity on January 24, 2021. Ang cost po, 260,000. Kasama daw po dun sa 3 million. Asuncion is currently holding 130,000 worth of inventories on consignment. Galing po kay Mingming Company. Nakasama din daw po dun sa 3 million. Asuncion has merchandise inventory with a cost of 450,000 out on consignment to Pusher Mall Department Store. Hindi daw po kasama dun sa 3 million. And then, on December 28, nagkaroon naman po tayo ng sales transaction. Costing 120,000, shinip natin sa buyer FOB shipping point na na-receive nila noong January 4. Hindi daw po kasama dun sa 3 million. How much is Asuncion Trading's correct inventory balance at December 31, 2020? You can apply first the things that we have discussed in the first problem and the things that we discussed in our theories, and then try to answer this. Pause the video muna. And assuming that you have tried computing and you pause the video to analyze the problem, let's now analyze the problem. Okay, ang tanong po sa inyo ay correct inventory balance pero meron na pong preliminary balance. The way that we will be analyzing this is either add, deduct, or ignore the information given to you. Okay, so let's have the first bullet point. Nga pala, lagay natin sa isip na meron daw tayong inventory balance na 3 million. I-adjust natin siya dito sa 4 na bullet points na yan. And then, gagamitin po natin either i-add po ba natin, i-deduct po natin, or i-ignore lang po natin yung information. Okay, first bullet. The goods shipped to Asuncion. O, ano ibig sabihin nung shipped to Asuncion? Pinapaship sa atin. Ibig sabihin tayo po ang buyer dyan sa transaction na yan. Ang terms po, FOB destination, kailan? December 27. Kailan daw po natin na-receive? January 4. The cost of the inventory is 260,000. Buyer tayo. FOB destination. Anong sabi po natin pag FOB destination? We can only claim the ownership of the inventory if it arrives at our company premises or if it's delivered to us na. So, at December 27, hindi pa po siya atin kasi January 4 pa dumating. Ang kaso, yung 260,000, kasama daw po. It's included in the 3 million balance. Since hindi pa po atin yung inventory na yan, your adjustment is a deduction. Okay? Second bullet point. Asuncion is currently holding 130,000 worth of inventories on consignment from Mingming Company. Ano po yan? Goods out on consignment o goods held for consignment? That is goods held for consignment. Kasi nakipwesto po sa atin si Mingming Company. Nagpatulong magpabenta. Atin po ba yan? Hindi. Anong sabi? It was ascertained that the inventory is included. Included, pero hindi atin. Huwag mong angkinin, deduct mo. Asuncion has merchandise inventory with a cost of 450,000 out on consignment to Pusher Mall Department Store. Tayo naman po yung may inventory. Nakipwesto tayo kay Pusher Mall Department Store with a cost of 450,000. It's not included in the inventory balance. Atin po ba yung 450,000? Certainly, atin yan. Kasi goods out on consignment siya. Nakipwesto tayo kay Pusher Mall. 'Di ba? Okay, since it's not yet included in the inventory balance, pero atin po siya, you need to add that amount. Kasi atin yan. Ang kinin mo. Lastly, on December 28, merchandise with a selling price of 170,000 costing 120,000 was shipped to a buyer. So seller naman po tayo dito, nag-ship tayo sa buyer, FOB shipping point. O anong sabi natin? Pag FOB shipping point at nasa transit na kay buyer na yon, kailan nangyari? December 28. So automatically, hindi na po yan atin. Kasi bago magtapos ng December 31, napadala na po natin FOB shipping point. So the ownership is kay buyer na po. Nandun po ba siya sa 3 million? Anong sabi? It was ascertained that the amount is not included. So, kung hindi na siya sa atin at hindi rin naman siya kasama dun sa 3 million, tama lang na wala siya dun sa 3 million. So, ang gagawin natin, ignore. Ignore mo lang kasi sanay ka naman dyan, di ba, yung ini-ignore. Joke lang uli. Okay, masakit na naman, di ba? Okay, so from 3 million, i-deduct natin si 260,000, i-deduct din natin si 130,000, i-add natin si 450,000, then we ignore the cost of yung nasa FOB shipping point na. Okay, so the correct inventory balance of Asuncion Trading na ire-report po nila sa balance sheet ng December 31 is 3,060,000. Okay, I hope you understand our discussion today, and our next lesson is inventory cost flow techniques. Specific identification, first in, first out, weighted average, and moving average. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH and hit the notification bell button to alert you of the latest video lessons. For all of your questions, comments, and suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below and message nyo ako, kevintroy.chua1994@gmail.com. May vlog kayo? Collab tayo. Why not? Okay, thank you. And this has been Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. To God be all the glory, honor, and praise. Thank you and have a great day. Sarangeo.